Sorry, I was being very delayed at starting. What's up, YouTube? This is Sly88Fry here. So, it's been a little while. It's been, I think, a couple weeks since I've done a reaction video, and it was to Karl Jobst. And no, I have not reacted to every Karl Jobst video in regards to Billy Mitchell as of late. There was one I didn't react to. But I just couldn't help myself with this one. Billy Mitchell accuses Karl of being a fraud during an insane rant. Like, wow. Billy Mitchell is so pathetic. I mean, he's trying so hard to hold on to a record that he doesn't deserve because he cheated. Hey, sweetheart. You guys probably heard that. I don't know if you guys are also picking up the air conditioner. Don't worry, I'm going to make sure to turn off the microphone when I have nothing to say. So you're not hearing it over the video as we watch it together.
Hello, you absolute legends. As most of you know, back in 2021, Billy Mitchell, Video Game Player of the Century, sued me for defamation, claiming damages of $450,000. Since that time, I have been defending myself rigorously, sparing absolutely no expense, hiring the best lawyers possible, and to date, I have incurred legal fees of $280,000. Fortunately, I haven't done this alone, and I've been blessed to have had the support of so many amazing people. For example, last year I launched a GoFundMe asking for help, which raised almost 150,000 Australian dollars. This has helped me and my family deal with this unpleasant situation tremendously, and we would be in serious trouble if it weren't for the kindness of strangers. The money that I receive goes towards fighting Billy Mitchell and defending myself, and Billy Mitchell is extremely upset that I've had help. You see, Billy likes to wear an American flag tie and claims to espouse American values, but this is just an act. If there is one thing Billy hates more than anything else, it's due process. Billy doesn't want me to be able to afford a good defense. He despises you for helping me because he is a tyrant and hates resistance. And honestly, he's scared. Billy has been a bully his entire life, picking on those that he perceives as weak, and now that people are fighting back, he is falling apart. Billy is so upset about my GoFundMe that he recently went on an unhinged rant talking about how everyone has been deceived and I've been lying to people to steal money and profit from the situation. In typical Billy fashion, his rant was entirely made up of lies, and given that I'm an expert in what's happening between him and I thought I would go over his accusations and let you know what really happened. I don't know why Billy thought it would be a good idea to publicly lie about ongoing legal proceedings, but then again, I don't know why Billy does anything Billy does. Billy is now trying to spin the narrative that he is the good guy and I'm the evil liar who's deceiving everyone. And what's possibly more bizarre than anything else, there were people in the crowd that actually believed what he was saying. Some people still don't realize he lies about everything. And I mean everything. Even things that can be checked in literally 2 seconds. So let's go over Billy's recent rant about me and unpack all of his lies. I really hope you enjoy.
Yeah, it is pretty pathetic that there are people who still believe what Billy Mitchell is saying when it's so easy to prove that he did not achieve the first perfect Pac-Man score. The plaque wasn't even a real plaque. It had nothing to do with his achievement. It was just some way for Namco to promote their game, their new Pac-Man game that came out at the time. It's been proven time and time again that he's not the greatest Donkey Kong player in the world. He just and what's really stupid is, I mean, is it really that important to hold on to these things? I mean, is fighting against the truth in regards to this that important? I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't amounted to anything else in life or something, which, hey, that's a lot of us haven't, but this is just dumb. My gosh. Anyway, wow. I am curious as to what this lunatic is saying now. Oh, I was going to mention that once again, it's just like supporters of a certain turd, Amber Turd, who seem to always believe in her just because she's a woman when if you paid attention to the trial like I did, and I'm not talking about that documentary on Netflix, I don't even need to worry about that. I already watched the actual trial last year on the Law and Crime Network on YouTube. So I already know what happened. But it's like, when you see all the evidence that happened in the trial and you see how much she lied and you see how much she couldn't keep a straight face, how whenever she pretended to cry, no tears would ever come out, um, how she just kept lying and lying and bullshitting her way and accidentally admitted to exactly what Johnny Depp sued her for, which was defamation. It's so obvious that she's a liar and that Johnny Depp is innocent, but people are just crazy and will just believe what they want to believe. That's like with Amber Turd. That's just like with people who are Donald Trump supporters. Please don't get political. I do not want to. I'm not reading those comments. To make things more fair, I don't like Biden either. So, move on. But also, the fact is, there's literally no evidence to support Billy Mitchell's claims. There's none. There's literally none. Just evidence he himself presents and his own supporters present, which isn't real evidence. It's just stuff they're making up that they try to make it appear as evidence. It's really slimy that there are people out there who will try to defend something that they know isn't true just because they want to keep the narrative.
Now legends, this video is sponsored by Dragon City. Dragon City is a really fun game where you build your own dragon empire by collecting, hatching, and evolving over 1,000 unique dragons. After collecting these bad boys, it's your mission to make them more powerful by feeding them, training them, and battling them against other dragon masters. The more they fight, the higher the rank each dragon becomes, which makes them stronger. Naturally, you'll need to give your dragon army a good home, and as you work your way through the game, you can build a ton of unique structures that give you benefits. Personally, I am a huge fan of the event minigames that are both fun and allow you to get rewards. My favorite so far is Heroic Race, and I am a master at these types of games. I mean, look at me go, you just can't teach this. You can play Dragon City on iOS, Android, or PC, and if you download today using my link in the description or QR code on screen, you will get a special bundle with 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and the very rare Neo Izumi Dragon to get you started. Before we listen to Billy Mitchell talk, I want you to understand how Billy works. When he talks, he only says what he thinks makes him look good. It doesn't matter if what he is saying is completely false or can be debunked instantly, he'll just say what he thinks sounds good in the moment. Previously, Billy has had success with this method of lying because the unfortunate truth is that most people will never fact-check themselves. The only reason his lies are being exposed to the public right now is because people like me and the new owner of Twin Galaxies do actually put effort into uncovering the truth. Billy does not care at all how easily his lies can be refuted. He will say the sky is green if he thinks it makes him sound good, even though all anyone would have to do to disprove this is simply look up. And Billy's ability to lie about such ridiculous things confidently has gotten him very far in the past, so keep this in mind whenever you listen to him talk. Now, this talk happened last month at a small gaming convention in England, where he claimed to be doing a Q&A, but the lady asking him questions was an obvious Billy shill who was parroting his talking points and giving him softballs to answer.
That is currently a case that's still going through the court process with Karl Jobst, isn't there? And obviously that's something that every time there's a video that goes up with your name on, especially around the subject of Apollo or cheating, that gets views, that gets clicks, that gets people noticing it, and that makes those guys lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money in the background as well. We all know how Twitch and YouTube and everything work. I don't think there's a single person here that doesn't.
I give you credit, you've done your homework.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
I assure you there's plenty of people who don't exactly know how the monetization works on these sites. There's plenty of people who don't. Okay? There's plenty of people who probably don't know that to be monetized on YouTube, you're required at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours in a year. And if you make those requirements, you're barely getting by. You're making almost nothing. I basically make... I've been monetized since July of 2021, and I've made, I think, $400 on YouTube. That's it. That's it. So, yeah, it's not much. I obviously still have to work a regular job. It's only people who have a whole lot of subscribers and consistent views and clicks who can make a whole lot of money. So it's not always. I don't think everybody really knows how it truly works. Not really. This is a pathetically softball question. She's basically just implying that Karl Jobst is only doing this to get the views. But the pathetic thing is that that's just not true. It's already been revealed way before Karl Jobst even made any videos about it that Billy Mitchell cheated to achieve his records. He didn't follow actual rules of achieving those records. You're supposed to play Donkey Kong on original arcade hardware, but he played on an emulator, which gave him an advantage that you can't have on the arcade. So whatever achievements he supposedly made, he didn't make legitimately. And there's so much evidence to prove that he's not as great as he says he is. Look, I guarantee you, Billy Mitchell will probably be better at Donkey Kong than me. But that's the thing. I didn't really play the Donkey Kong arcade that much. I'm more familiar with Donkey Kong on the Game Boy, which is an awesome video game that starts out similarly to the arcade, but then becomes a completely different game after that, with having to get a key to get to the locked door to beat the level, and different styles of boss fights against Donkey Kong. And really awesome to play that Game Boy game on the Super Game Boy, because the sound quality is better. You could actually hear Pauline say help instead of woo! And color looks nicer. Anyway, yeah, this is such an obvious softball question. It's insulting that it's included. Like, he's not even trying to hide how obvious it is.
Not often. Sometimes I know what I'm doing.
Okay. I'm the only arcade gamer that he streams about. He arguably gets more views off me than anybody.
By the way, that's not true. He's also talked about Todd Rogers, or Todgers, as he accidentally wrote on his own legal paperwork. But, yeah. And also, he's talked about other video game cheaters from other games besides Donkey Kong. There was one for, I don't remember what, it might have been GoldenEye. I don't remember what game it was, but it wasn't Donkey Kong. So no, it's not the only thing. Billy Mitchell, you lied again.
He said what he said, and he said it constantly, and I don't care. I mean...
That's also a lie. He clearly cares, because he made her ask him this extremely easy to answer question and phrase it in a way to make Karl Jobst look unfavorable. If you actually had somebody who was there to get to the truth instead of somebody you paid off to ask you the questions you want to answer, you wouldn't know how to answer the question. That's just a fact. That's just how it is. I mean, look what happened when the turd was having to deal with Johnny Depp's lawyer in the trial. She crumbled. She looked like shit. She kept lying and making shit up on the spot and looking like an idiot. The same thing would happen to Billy Mitchell if he was actually asked questions by somebody who was not paid off by him, somebody who was trying to get to the actual truth. He'd be screwed. He'd be totally screwed. He'd look like a dumbass.
I couldn't give him 10 seconds worth of credibility. Nothing. Zero.
You gave him a lawsuit worth of credibility. You sued him. So if you say you don't care, that's bullshit. The fact that you would sue him just to try to silence him means you actually cared about what he said.
Billy likes to tell this story about how he was never going to acknowledge me and was never going to waste any energy on me and was going to ignore me forever until he sued me in 2021. He also said this in a video he posted to his YouTube channel in June of 2021.
I was going to ignore Karl forever. But this cannot be ignored.
But this is a total lie. In 2020, he had already set his lawyer onto me, threatened to sue me, and demanded I pay him $150,000 because I said he cheated. In July of 2020, he
The thing is, I actually am not even sure if that's a legal case. Like, suing somebody because they said you lied, because they said you cheated. Like, that's not considered defamation. I mean, especially if it's actually true that you cheated. Like, come on.
sent me a concerns notice, which is dollars because I said he cheated. In July of 2020, he sent me a concerns notice, which is the document you need to send to someone before you can sue them for defamation. And this was immediately after I posted my very first video that had anything to do with Billy Mitchell. In that letter, the lawyer says they have instructions to commence proceedings against me and demanded I pay $150,000, removed my video, and never talked about Billy again. So when he says he was ignoring me and that he wouldn't give me 10 seconds of credibility, this was a complete lie.
Okay, but time went on, and eventually, without a single source, except a now deleted post on Reddit, now deleted post, was his only source where he blamed me for taking the life of another human being and for what I did to him. And I said, that's it.
Billy Mitchell is referring to the YouTuber Apollo Legend, who tragically took his own life in December of 2020. I won't go into specifics about this particular point because it does relate to his ongoing lawsuit against me. But again, everything he just said is a lie. I didn't say what he claims that I said, and my source for what I did say was not just a deleted post on Reddit. Billy knows all of my sources because I gave them to him as part of the proceedings. And once the lawsuit is over, which should be hopefully very soon, all of the details will be made public.
And I said, that's it. What kind of person am I, even to my family, if I would allow someone to do that unanswered?
I will show you exactly the kind of person Billy Mitchell is. As part of the legal proceedings against Twin Galaxies, text messages were made public between Billy and other people. These messages showed that in March of 2018, Billy thought that Apollo Legend had died. Of course, that didn't end up being true, but let's see how Billy reacted to this news. In his messages to Carlos Pinheiro, who was helping to defend Billy at the time, Billy says, "My wife found online, Apollo Legend is dead. No joke." To which Carlos responds, "What? Oh my god." Billy says, "If it is true, I will not shed a tear. I will try my very hardest not to smile or giggle." Carlos couldn't find any sources, so Billy tries to help him by saying, "My wife said to Google Apollo Legend, Reddit dead." Carlos replies, "I see nothing solid." To which Billy replies, "I certainly hope you find something solid." Oops, was I not supposed to say that? I'll see if I can get my wife to find it again. So not only did Billy sue a kid with major health issues for $1 million, but he hoped he was dead, and said that if he was dead, it would make him want to smile and giggle. And why did Billy feel this way? Because Apollo Legend said he cheated in a video game, which is a proven fact. And it wasn't just close friends that Billy expressed his joy over Apollo's death to. He even sent these messages to Jace Hall, the owner of Twin Galaxies who he is now suing. He was so happy that he just had to tell as many people as he could. That's the kind of person Billy Mitchell is.
And so you address it and you try to resolve it. But when somebody thinks they're in a different place and they think there's nothing you can do about it, and they think they can just laugh at you, you can either let them do that or you can pursue it. So we pursued it. The complaint actually says nothing, not a single word about video games. Nothing.
Wait a minute, Billy. Would you mind saying that again?
The complaint actually says nothing, not a single word about video games. Nothing.
Okay, so Billy is claiming that the complaint says nothing about video games. But let's do a quick test to see if you are all following along at home. Knowing what we know about Billy Mitchell being a pathological liar, if he says the complaint says nothing about video games, what are the odds that the complaint mentions video games multiple times in the very first paragraph? Well, here's the complaint, and what's this? Billy Mitchell mentions video games multiple times in the very first paragraph. I can't believe Billy Mitchell would lie like this. This is so out of character. And can we just take a moment to appreciate how hilariously pathetic it is that Billy Mitchell felt the need to introduce himself in a lawsuit as someone who has a Guinness World Record in a video game? This is a 58-year-old man, by the way.
You know, that seriously reminds me, just, wow. Some people just never seem to grow up. I'm not going to mention this person by name, but we used to have a neighbor next door who's 70, who was quite a nuisance to everybody who lived here, but thought she was above the rules, thought that because she lived here for like X amount of years, everybody was beholden to her. She would pretend to be nice and try to win you over with, gifts and try to be nice to you, but she, behind the scenes, and we could hear it, was abusive to her roommates, and yeah, she was a despicable human being. Screaming at people, screaming at her roommates in the middle of the walkway for everybody to hear. Like, come on. I kid you not, she doesn't live there anymore. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was because the apartment complex had enough of her. I don't know if that's the reason. I can't say that it is, but it's probably the reason. A few days ago, I was just leaving the premises and just going to walk across the street, and she screamed "fuck you" at me from across the street. Like, hey, you don't live here anymore. Move on. And that woman was 70, so it does go to show that some people just can't grow up. They just can't. Anyway, the fact is, wow, Billy Mitchell's 58 and he's still behaving this kind of way. It's just ridiculous. I'm 35 and I'm definitely more mature than he is. That's for sure. Of course, I didn't cheat to achieve any video game records. I mean, I'm not really skilled enough to achieve any video game records anyways. I consider myself to be actually pretty great at video games. I'm good at a lot of them. It's just I'm not at that elite top tier level that people who play professionally are. I'm not even close to that. That's like, I don't know what to say. Like, there's different levels. Like, absolutely pathetic is down down there. Then there's, there's people who have no idea what they're doing. Pathetic here, really bad. My friends who suck at games. My friends who are okay at games. Friends who are actually pretty good at video games. Then some other people, and some other people. Then, like, I'm up here somewhere. Then there's people who are way better, and then people who are even better than that, and like super experts or something. I mean, I'm probably a few levels lower than that, but like the thing is, yeah, what Billy Mitchell is fighting for is ridiculous. All he cares about is saving his good name, and he'll do it by lying, and it's just pathetic. 58 years old. Wow. Just wow.
The complaint actually says nothing, not a single word about video games. Nothing. But he has gone online and has led you to believe that it has to do with the allegations. And it doesn't.
I have never spoken about what the lawsuit is actually about. I haven't led anyone to believe anything. I've said that I'm being sued for defamation, but I've never talked about the specifics of the lawsuit, and I won't talk about them until the lawsuit is over. However, I will say that Billy Mitchell being a video game cheater is extremely relevant to the lawsuit. Billy Mitchell being happy about Apollo legend dying is extremely relevant. Billy Mitchell abusing the legal system is extremely relevant. Billy's problem is that he doesn't understand the legal system, and especially the one in Australia. So his fantasy about what the lawsuit should be about is not rooted in reality and only exists inside his head.
Okay, and it's proceeding. But here's what bothers me. You're the guy I pick on. He goes online. He does a video. He'll make, between the money he gets from YouTube, based upon the views, because I'm an extremely high view for him, along with the sponsorship, he'll get about $30,000 for a video.
How the hell would he even know that? YouTube analytics are not visibly, like, of that nature, are not visibly shown to the public. They're not. Like, I could look up how much I make from monetization. I can. I could look it up in my own YouTube analytics within my channel, you know, the YouTube Studio. But it's not publicly known how much I make per day, per video, per short, whatever the case may be. There's no way Billy Mitchell would know that it's like $30,000 per video or something. And I'm going to be honest, $30,000 in a single video, that's extremely doubtful. That would basically mean that Karl Jobst makes like $120,000 a month. Like, I doubt that it's that much. You know, I really doubt it. That's insane, man. He wouldn't even need help with fighting the lawsuit. He wouldn't even start a GoFundMe. He wouldn't even need to, if he was making that much. So, God, I'm sorry. How are these people listening to him? He's so full of shit. It's insane. God damn it, Billy Mitchell is such a fucking liar.
Holy shit, I wish I made $30,000 per video. He is pulling numbers out of his ass here, and he has absolutely no idea what I make. Trust me, I make a good amount, but it's certainly not that much. I also like how Billy says that he's an extremely high view for me as some kind of boast because he wants to make himself sound important. Sure, people love laughing at Billy because he is a walking circus after all, but I get a lot of views no matter what I talk about. If you look at a snapshot of my channel, I get a lot of views if I talk about random cheaters or if I talk about awesome achievements. The irony is that right now, it's me that's making Billy famous, and if I stopped talking about him, no one would care about him ever again. He is a disgraced cheater that everyone hates, no one wants him around, and I'm the only thing keeping him relevant.
That's a good point. Well, someone else made him kind of relevant recently too. Rich from Review Tech USA. Review Tech USA has over 1 million subscribers, and he actually talked about Billy Mitchell and his lawsuit in July, I think. I don't remember when. It was pretty recent, but it wasn't like recent. Like, it wasn't within a week. It was so. But yeah, I mean, the fact is, I actually didn't even know Billy Mitchell even had his own YouTube channel. And is Billy Mitchell's YouTube channel smaller than mine? I have 7,000, like over 7,500 subscribers. Was his only 2.37 thousand, like 2,370? Like, that's not much to boast about. And I'm not even boasting either. Like, I don't even consider my channel to be big. It's not. It's growing, but it's not big.
He'll get about $30,000.
I'm the only thing keeping him relevant.
He'll get about $30,000 for a video. It's possible to get somebody in this room to lie for $30,000. It's not something we should do.
This argument is always funny, but it's even more hilarious when the guy saying it is wearing an American flag tie. As I said at the beginning of the video, Billy acts like he loves American values, but he really doesn't. His claim is that if I make a lot of money, it's not because I'm creating a good product or providing a useful service, it could only be because I'm lying. But isn't the entire American dream based around the idea that working hard and achieving success is a good thing? Billy even tries to give off the image of success himself by wearing a suit. But if his logic were to hold true, if he was successful, which he isn't, that would mean intrinsically that his video game scores are not to be trusted. I mean, he does make money off them, and people who make money must be lying, so therefore Billy must lie about his video game scores for money.
Good point.
It's possible to get somebody in this room to lie for $30,000. It's not something we should do. But then you go on there and you say he's suing me again. He puts up nothing, no proof, anything that he's being sued again. Nothing. There is one complaint in there, and that's the original complaint.
Even though I've researched Billy a lot, and I know how much he lies, when he publicly lies about things he and his lawyers have done to me, it still shocks me every time. When it comes to lying, he is absolutely fearless.
I'm serious. Like, what is going on with his lawyers? His lawyers are probably losing their hair. They're probably going crazy having to deal with this guy. I'm sorry. Is it even worth it to defend him? It's just going to ruin the reputation of these lawyers, this law firm. Like, look what happened with Elaine, who apparently had actually a pretty good reputation as a lawyer before she defended Amber Turd. Now she's fucking shit. Just by having to defend such a liar and abusive, horrible human being. Ben Rottenborn looked like shit too. But God, Billy Mitchell's lawyers, like, wow. I just don't see what's the point of them still trying. They should just, is it worth the money? They should just kind of be like, you know what? We got a quick investment with money now, but if we abandon this lunatic, we can get out of this without that extra money, but we can be out of this with a better reputation and therefore get more money from better lawsuits later. Like, sometimes you got to think long term, and what they're doing is completely short term. They're going to look like garbage after the case is over. I mean, how could you defend such a guy? It's ridiculous.
Here, he is talking about my video titled, Billy Mitchell has gone insane and I need your help. This is the video where I advertised my GoFundMe to help with legal fees. Billy claims that I said he was suing me again while providing zero proof. But again, if you watch the video, you see instantly that this is a complete fabrication. I mean, I quite literally show the second lawsuit on screen when talking about it. First, Billy sent me this concerns notice in regards to my video that outlined allegations he was trying to extort witnesses. Again, this is a required document to send before you sue someone. This was the third concerns notice he had sent me by this point, by the way. Then, he sends me the second lawsuit, which I can show on screen now. I'm not making this up. This is a real thing that was sent to me by Billy's lawyer. This has nothing to do with the first lawsuit. It's a brand new one for a video I uploaded in 2022. And he again was seeking an extra $450,000 in damages. On top of this, his lawyer sent me a letter saying that he had instructions from Billy to file the lawsuit against me if I didn't offer to make amends, which of course I didn't do because everything I said in the video was true. Naturally, if Billy Mitchell, who sues everyone and is already suing me for something ridiculous, sends me a second lawsuit and has his lawyer literally tell me they were going to file it against me, I'm going to believe they will file it against me. Billy is right though. There is only one official complaint against me currently. And you know why that is? It's because Billy was either lying or changed his mind. I guess his legal threats ended up backfiring when I made my video saying he was going to sue me again, and I ended up getting a ton of support. Now he is pissed off because his scare tactic didn't work. At the time I made that video, everything I said was true. It's not my fault Billy ultimately decided to back out. It's a shame too, because he would have lost a ton more money when he ultimately lost.
Nothing. There is one complaint in there, and that's the original complaint. So when the attorney sends his attorney a letter and says, your client is fraudulently claiming that we filed a second and third lawsuit against him, that is not right. It's called a letter of concern.
This correspondence between lawyers that he's talking about never happened, and it's so sad that Billy is spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on his lawsuit against me, and he still doesn't even know what the basic documents are called. He was trying to say that he sent me a concerns notice, but he called it a letter of concern. But ignoring the name of the document, he didn't send me a concerns notice. I mean, he has sent me concerns notices before. He sent me one in 2020 for saying that he cheated. He sent me one in 2021 in regards to a Polo Legend. He sent me two in 2022 for reporting on accusations of extortion, and also for including a 10-second meme of him that I didn't even create.
And that 10-second meme is fucking hilarious. If you don't know, so in an old episode of Angry Video Game Nerd that was uploaded in I think it was 2009. Might have been 2008. But he mentioned Billy Mitchell, and back then it wasn't known that Billy Mitchell cheated. But James, Angry Video Game Nerd, mentioned him and saying, when he was reviewing Transformers on Famicom, saying, oh yeah, you remember Billy Mitchell, video game champion? I bet he could do it. And he was having the hot sauce that was sponsored by Billy Mitchell. But the edit, the meme, which, this edit, what happened was, they played the scene like normal. Oh, you remember Billy Mitchell, video game champion? And then it cut to a different edit where, in a different episode of AVGN, he said, "That's right, we're gonna cheat," and he was sticking an NES cartridge in with the Game Genie to cheat on a video game. So watch the edit; it's really funny, but it's perfect, because that is basically true. Like, oh yeah, let's be like Billy Mitchell. That's right, we're gonna cheat. Like it's perfect. But actually, he's probably about to show it right now.
In regards to my GoFundMe, all his lawyer did was ask me why I was doing a GoFundMe and talking about a second lawsuit. But after my lawyer responded saying that everything I said was a fact and it was them who were the ones saying they were going to file a second lawsuit against me, I didn't hear from them ever again about it. I guess they realized how utterly ridiculous they look.
He starts a GoFundMe because the bad boy is suing him again. He needs money. And you are so silly, you hear what he says, and you donate money without any knowledge or any background. And the GoFundMe is at $150,000. $30,000 for the video. You give him $180,000 based upon...
That is so dumb. Oh, yeah. You gave him $180,000. Dude. No. Okay? And again, he's not making $30,000 from the videos. Karl confirmed it himself. I mean, he's not showing what his actual monetization numbers are, but there's no way he's making $30,000 from said video. It's just, no.
A lie.
Yes, it was based upon a lie that you created, Billy. If you didn't send me a second lawsuit and lie and say that you will file it against me, I wouldn't have said that you were going to file a second lawsuit against me. But regardless, I didn't create the GoFundMe because of the second lawsuit. If you actually watch the video and read the description of the GoFundMe, instead of just taking Billy's word for it, you'll see the main reason I was asking for money was because I ran out of funds for the existing lawsuit. And I said that it was going to cost at least least another $100,000 to get through that. And unfortunately, my estimate ended up being way too low, because we still haven't gotten to trial, and it's already cost me another $100,000 since I made that video.
And you are so silly, you hear what he says, and you donate money without any knowledge or any background.
Billy is extremely upset here because he hates the idea of someone having the money to defend themselves in court. If Billy was so sure he was going to win, he wouldn't mind if I was able to put up a good defense.
That's a really good point there. Really good point there. Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's everyone's right. And Billy believes in American values like due process, right? Why is it a bad thing if someone is allowed to defend themselves properly? From the way he speaks, Billy seems more anti-American than anything.
And the GoFundMe is at $150,000. $30,000 for the video. You give him $180,000.
This is the amount of money I made from that video.
There you go. There you go. Since published today. Since published today. That's how much. Now, I wish I would make that much money from a single video. But that is in almost a year from just one video that had, a lot of views. The fact that people are actually believing what he's saying is solid proof that not only does Billy Mitchell not know how YouTube monetization actually works and that he's just a flat-out liar, it proves that so many people don't know how it works at all. Look, I have a short that has over 500,000 views, and I mean, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure all I've made from that short is like $10 to $15. Okay, so part of it actually has to do with when I uploaded the short last year. It was a lot harder to monetize shorts. Like, it was a lot harder for ads to show up. But YouTube changed their monetization policy for shorts, so now it's easier to monetize them. I guess more ads show, and also they're allowing me to gain monetization when somebody who is viewing the short is watching on YouTube Premium, where they don't get ads. So basically, I'm getting part of the money from their subscription. However it works. I don't know how all that stuff works, but yeah, like, no, you don't make as much money as you might think you do. Because the fact of the matter is, if that was the only video Karl Jobst had uploaded, he'd be screwed. Because you need to make more than that much money, a lot more than that much money, to afford rent in a lot of places, or afford to live somewhere. In most places. Some places you can afford with that much in a month. But in a year? No. He makes more revenue by uploading more content, so he probably gets a few $1,000s on this video, a few $1,000s on that video. But yeah, the fact is, this video, which he's claiming he made $30,000 on, he didn't even make $3,000. So, yeah, Karl Jobst, he's doing fine financially in terms of his earnings because of the amount of earnings he's getting from a collection of his videos. But yeah, nobody's going to make $30,000 from a single video. I mean, unless maybe you're, I don't know, maybe PewDiePie, maybe Mr. Beast, maybe T-Series. But I'm not even sure if it's that much in a single video either. I mean, to make $30,000 per video and to upload, like 4 or 5 videos a month, so that's like between $120,000 to $150,000 a month. That makes you a millionaire. You're making over $1 million in a year with ease, like really easily. And I'm sorry, but there aren't that many YouTubers who are millionaires. There really aren't. Even ones who get a lot of views. They make enough money to get by, and they probably make enough money to live pretty comfortably, more comfortably than I do. But I doubt they're millionaires.
Which is less than 10% of what Billy was claiming, is the amount of
You give him $180,000.
This is the amount of money I made from that video, which is less than 10% of what Billy was claiming. And the video wasn't sponsored, so Billy is just lying about everything. On top of that, he is intentionally conflating US dollars with Australian dollars. The GoFundMe is at around 150,000 Australian dollars, which, after conversion fees and GoFundMe fees are removed, ends up being less than $100,000 USD. Billy just can't help but lie about every single point he makes.
What do you want me to tell you? I don't have an answer.
Look how much of a yes man that woman is in the bottom right. All she's doing is just look at him nodding, nodding, nodding. I'm sorry. That was a softball question he made her ask. He's not trying to get. He's trying to avoid answering a real question. It's just pathetic. It's really pathetic.
You can get a lot of people to do a lot of things for $180,000.
I'm not getting $180,000. I can't just take this money and go on a holiday in Jamaica. I still have legal bills to pay. Ultimately, that money isn't going to me, it's going to my lawyers. Even with all the money I've been given or raised, it still won't cover my legal fees. My lawyers are really expensive, but they are expensive because they are good. The reality is that you get what you pay for. So yes, I have spent a lot, but I have a really good team, which drastically increases my chances of successfully defending myself. I will put on screen a couple of yearly totals to show that yes, it really does cost this much.
It's unbelievable to me that many people are led in that direction.
Yes, it's truly unbelievable that people are led in the direction of someone like me, who presents evidence for their claims and has fact-checkable proof for everything. And they don't believe a pathological liar who provides no evidence whatsoever and has been caught lying thousands of times. This is truly perplexing.
But I also got to tell you one more thing. The attorney told me. He says every time somebody makes a statement, don't get upset. Remember, this is defamation. And every single statement, every single YouTuber who takes his video and reproduces it, which is a lot, every single one of them is a gift. In the end, it's a gift. Because he's wrong.
God, this guy is pathetic. God, he is so pathetic. Oh my God. You know, I guarantee you the lawyers didn't word it that way. I guarantee you they didn't. I mean, they probably worded it in some way like it, but not exactly like that. Are you kidding me? That'd be a really stupid thing to say. A really stupid thing to say. And lawyers are, they're really highly educated. I mean, yeah, we've seen stupid lawyers before. I already mentioned a couple earlier. But, and the thing is, I don't even know if the lawyers are even that stupid. They're just bad at their case. But, yeah, it's probably unfair to say that Elaine and Ben Rottenborn are stupid, but they were really bad at their case. And, of course, they were bad at it because it was an unwinnable case because their client was a complete liar. Billy Mitchell's lawyers have no chance because this guy is a complete fucking liar. So, yeah. But the fact is, I highly doubt they use those exact words when they talk to him. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous.
He cannot possibly defend the fact that he said I took the life of a human being. And I'm not going to let it go, no matter what.
I can't defend myself because I'm wrong. Wow, that's a very convincing argument, Billy. I'm sure that persuaded a lot of people. Anyways, I'm going to link my GoFundMe again in the description. Any support would be greatly appreciated. At this point in time, I'm desperately trying to get a trial happening as soon as possible, so hopefully everything is wrapped up within the next few months. Any and all money I receive goes towards mounting the best defense possible. I really appreciate any support you are willing to give, and of course, thank you so much to everyone who has helped so far. And once again, please make sure to try out Dragon City. It's a really fun game, it helps the channel, and if you use my link in the description or QR code, you will get a special bundle with 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and the very rare Neo Izumi Dragon to get you started. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
Okay. I'm going to show you something else. Where is it? I'm not going to watch it, but, wait, where is it? What happened to it? Johnny Depp's lawyer gets bomb threat after Netflix Amber Heard series spin. That is scary. It really goes to show how despicable and disgusting Amber Heard fans are that they'd resort to stuff like that. So anybody who believes in her needs to, back off. There's nothing to believe in her. If they're so desperate to try to kill or destroy people who defended Johnny Depp, that means that they have no evidence to prove that their turd is telling the truth. Anyways, going back to Billy Mitchell. This is a ridiculous case. Billy Mitchell needs to just, my God. It's just pathetic how he is. Like, I'm sorry, but this is not worth it for him, you know? He's going to lose his case. He's going to lose a whole lot of money. He's already lost so much credibility, and he's not getting it back. He's going to have those diehard supporters who will not stop supporting him. Sadly, that's how things are going to be. Amber Heard has them. Donald Trump has them. Joe Biden has them. I'm sure even Boris Johnson, the former UK Prime Minister, has them. There's people who side with Russia when it comes to Russia versus Ukraine, and let's not talk about that either. That is tragic. That war is tragic. Shouldn't be happening. And that is not something that's worth talking about in the comment section. Anyway. It's pretty horrible. I just don't see why this is worthwhile for him. There's no point. And anybody with common sense could see that he's talking out of his ass, making shit up. Anybody who actually has a monetized YouTube channel knows for sure that there's no way Karl Jobst made $30,000 per video. That's just not possible. You have to be like T-Series to do that. You can't. Like, no. Not at all. All right? So, yeah. I'm very glad Karl Jobst showed how much monetization he got there. You are free to show that stuff with screenshots. I can show that stuff for me if I wanted to, but I could really care less. It's not that much money I'm making. I haven't even made $1,000 on a video before. That's probably never going to happen. Not unless my channel was a lot bigger, which is also very unlikely. And I've accepted that. I'll be starting a new job soon, and I'll have less time to make content, but I'll still be primarily making my Johnny Depp shorts. That said, thank you so much for watching. I know I had to pause it a lot. I know I had a lot to say, but this just gives me a lot to say, you know? Um, I mean, Karl Jobst explained it perfectly well during the video. There's not that much more I could really say that I hadn't already said earlier when I was pausing. Um, but yeah. This is getting ridiculous. And the sad truth is, there's going to be people who will still defend him even after he loses his case, which he's going to lose his case. There's no doubt he's going to lose his case. That said, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to add me notifications. I cannot guarantee you that I'm going to react to every Karl Jobst video about Billy Mitchell. I actually skipped one a few weeks ago. But you know, I'll react to them from time to time. My priority is still my YouTube shorts, mostly Johnny Depp ones, because that's what gets the most views. But you know, I'll still occasionally make reaction videos when it's to something I think is worthwhile to react to. There's a lot of videos I like to watch. It's just some of them I don't think are worthwhile to react to. But Karl Jobst, when it's with Billy Mitchell, yeah, I think it's pretty worthwhile. That said, thank you so much. By the way, I doubt any haters are going to get this far in the video, but no, I will ignore comments defending Billy Mitchell. There's no reason to listen to people who are choosing the side of a pathological liar who has no evidence. And also, in case you missed the community post, I'm not uploading reviews of Futurama anymore. They weren't getting views. There's too many other people with much bigger channels that are uploading Futurama reviews that are taking all the views, and I just can't upload them fast enough. I'm trying. I've been trying to, but I'm a one-man team doing everything by myself. It just ain't gonna happen. And whenever I upload them, they barely get any watch time, so it's not really worth my time to edit those when I have other things to do. So I just thought I would make that quick announcement. I might upload some new original content at some point, but it depends on if I have everything I need to make such original content. And if I did, I'd have to record several episodes in a row so I can upload them frequently, and that's time consuming. So that might be a long wait. There's also a what if video I had thought about doing years ago that I'm actually thinking about trying to make again, and actually really trying to make it. We'll see if I can do that or not. Anyways, that'll do it. Thank you so much.